Another one. Another one. We the best music. DJ Khaled.
Hey guys, and welcome back. If this is your first time tuning in, my name's Nikki and thanks so much for watching. So for today's video, I'm going to be testing out the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. I was so excited about the release of this palette and I finally got my hands on it last weekend and I could not wait to dive into the colors. I wanted to create more of like a fresh, glowy spring type of look instead of something dramatic. The colors are so pigmented, so creamy, and I feel like with this palette you can get a ton of looks. I mean, you can get daytime, sultry, nighttime looks as well, and I just feel like you have so many options and I could not wait to dive into it today. This is the look that I decided to come up with and I really am happy with the way that it came out. Like I said, I wanted to keep it kind of like spring and light and not too heavy. I know that most of my makeup tutorials are like full coverage foundation, focusing on the contour, heavy eyes, lashes, and all that jazz, but I wanted to kind of switch it up a bit and just show you something that's really achievable and simple for beginners as well. I am going to be showing you some swatches of the palette as well so you guys can get an idea of how they look on my skin complexion. I know that sometimes when you swatch they can be kind of misleading since it doesn't really show up on the skin or the eyes like that. So I will be inserting some swatches here right now so you guys can kind of get an idea of the colors. Just to kind of list them out, some of my favorite colors are rose pink, sultry, bronze, glistening of course is like a really soft, nice light gold looking shade, orange soda, burnt orange is one of the old colors. It's actually in the Modern Renaissance palette. And I believe that Cypress Umber and Sienna is too, but let me see. So Cypress Umber is definitely inside of the Modern Renaissance palette, and Raw Sienna is as well. Well, actually they have a color called Sienna and Raw Sienna. I'm just going to hold these up side by side so you guys can get an idea of the difference in the packet. So as you can see, this one is more of like a neutrals, brown, also has like some pink mauve shades and like I said sultry colors as well. And the Modern Renaissance palette, which is over here on my right, is more of like the warm tones as well, a lot of earth tones and some pink shades as well. So I do think that although they look pretty similar, the looks that you can achieve are a lot more different. So I also want to compare the Subculture palette as well to the Soft Glam palette. And as you can see in the Subculture palette, which is on my right, they have more cool tones and also some warm tones thrown in there as well. I'm going to demonstrate this later on in the video, but the colors that are in the Soft Glam palette are more creamy, easy to blend, and just a lot more like soft. You know what I mean? They're very pigmented. A little bit goes a long way. I feel like although I do like the Subculture palette, the colors are a little bit more hard to work with and not as easy to blend in together. So I definitely would recommend the Soft Glam over the Subculture. I do think both of these are going to be staples in all of my eye looks here to come. I feel like I have a few different eyeshadow palettes that I really love, and I must say that these two by Anastasia and the Jaclyn Hill and of course Carly Bobble are like my top 4 thus far. So yeah, so I need to quit rambling and just jump into the video. But before I do, you guys already know the drill. If you have not subscribed to my channel, go hit that subscribe button right now. I won't judge you if you don't, but I definitely will like think that you are a lurker and you're kind of shady and you just want people to kind of like go to somebody's Instagram page and just like scroll through their pictures but don't hit like that's how I feel like you are if you don't subscribe. And if you do enjoy this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and without further ado, let's just jump right into the video.
Drop top Porsche, rollie on my wrist, diamonds up and down my chain.
So first I'm just going to be making sure there aren't any creases on my lids. I've already applied my foundation, concealer, and a little bit of bronzer. So I'm going to be picking up the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. I'm so excited to finally dig into this palette and see what the colors can do. I have an idea for the look in mind that I'm going to go for. I want to keep it kind of like springy and bright and not too heavy. I want to keep this a soft glam tutorial as the eyeshadow palette says. So I'm going to be picking up my Morphe M441 brush. I know it looks kind of dirty, but I didn't have time to like fully clean all of my brushes before I started. So I'm just going to swirl it inside of this little color swatch thingy by Morphe. I need to get another one. I wonder if you can like wash these with like soap and water, but it still works for me. So as you can see, like there's not going to be any color transfer. So First, I'm going to be picking up the color Orange Soda and just applying that in my crease as a transition shade. So there is a little kickback when you pick up these shades on your brush, so you want to make sure that when you go in, you just kind of like tap off the excess. And that's with any eyeshadow palette that you use. You want to make sure that you get the chalkiness off and you're only picking up pigment and you have less fallout that way as well. So this color isn't showing up that great on me, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up the color Burnt Orange. And this shade is also in the Modern Renaissance palette, but it looks a little bit different in this palette. I don't know if it's because it's with a lot more like brown shades, but it looks a little bit less orangey and more taupe. So this shade is acting as a better transition for me, so I'm just going to keep building that into my crease. And if you have a hard time like finding out where your crease is, keep your eye open like this, and the socket that's right there, you want to just apply the transition shade in the socket, and that should help you figure out where your crease is. So now I'm going to be picking up the color Rose Pink. Right there, it's not the darker of the two mauve shades, but the lighter one. And I'm just going to apply that kind of like on the outer part of my crease. I'm going to start by applying it with my finger. I just feel with your finger you get like the most pigment. Just going to apply that like so. And I'm not experiencing any fallout right now, so it seems as if we are good. And I know it probably looks kind of patchy right now, but don't worry, I'm going to go ahead and blend that out. I'm going to also pick up the color Sultry, and I'm going to pop that on top of this rose pink color. Yeah, it's a lot more pigmented, but not too dark, because we still want to keep it light and springy. Ken just got here, if you guys hear the door. So I'm just going to be picking up the Morphe M441 again and just blending out the harsh edges at the top. I don't know what color I want to go with. I'm going to go with the color Glistening, and I'm going to pop that on my inner, I want to blind you guys. I'm going to pop that on the inner part of my crease. So I'm just going to pick up a little flat taper brush by BH Cosmetics, that on the inner part. And you want to just kind of drag it into the other color so that there aren't any harsh lines. I feel like on this side I didn't bring the sultry pink in far enough. I'm just going to pick up this small brush right here from Real Techniques and go back into Rose Pink and add a little bit more. And as you can see, it is more pigmented with my brush, so I was sadly mistaken. I really want it to be like a 3D, you know, like the gold to the light pink to the darker pink on the outside. So this is really giving me the depth that I want. As I want to add a little bit more of the sultry, I'm going to go ahead and swatch this. We're going to call this No Color Transfer. I'm going to go back into the color. I'm going to go back into the color sultry and just tap that on the outer third. I don't want it to be too dark, but I still want that dimension. These colors are nice and pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. And I'm just going to kind of blend those all in together so there aren't any harsh lines. So now I'm going to be taking my Morphe M443 and I'm going to be picking up the color Sienna mixed with Mulberry, and I'm just going to apply that on my outer crease as well, just to deepen that up a bit. And like I said, a little bit of this goes a long way, so you don't need a whole lot. So I'm pleasantly surprised I didn't need to add any setting powder underneath my eye to prevent any fallout. I haven't experienced any fallout yet, so I am happy about that. And these colors are really easy to apply. They're really pigmented. I think this is kind of like a 180 from the Subculture palette. Those shadows are a little bit more chalky, and these are really creamy and just really easy to blend. I didn't have any problem with blending them out. So far, so good. And now I'm just blending a little bit more of orange soda mixed with burnt orange across the top, just to make sure that everything is seamless. So for my lower lash, I'm going to be going in with the color Dusty Rose. We'll see how this applies on me. It's kind of like a light mauve color, similar to my wedding colors. So I'm kind of like in the market to get a new lens, like maybe one that's a little more HD. The lens that I've been using is the one that comes with my camera. So if you guys have like any ideas on lenses, maybe like a macro lens that can really get that HD image, or like HD quality when I zoom in like this. I'm okay with the quality, but I feel like it could be a little bit more soft and like vivid. So if you guys have any ideas, or if you guys know of like good lenses to use with the T5i Rebel, let me know in the comments down below. So I'm also going to be picking up some of the color Sienna and applying that to the bottom lash line as well. I like the color Dusty Rose. It's just, I feel like, I don't know, I don't feel like that it really goes with this eye look as much as I thought it would. So I'm just going to blend in some of Sienna into that, and I have this like all over my contacts. I feel like I'm doing the no mirror makeup challenge. I can barely see. Because I like my lower lash line to really be smoked out, I'm going to take a fatter brush and just go in with Sienna. And I'm going to go in with a little bit of Mulberry and just keep that on the outer third. Okay. I don't think I'm going to go in with eyeliner. I think I'm just going to go in with some lashes, and then we'll see how it turns out. I'm going to be going in with my Ardell Wispies. Normally it's like so much easier to apply brand new lashes, but lately, like, I've been on a struggle bus. So I'm going to be going in with the Voluminous Lash Paradise and just kind of adding this to my lashes to make them a little more dramatic, since I don't have on liner. And I like to add it to the part where my natural lashes are to make them look more full. If I was going out like on a date night type of thing, I would bring it all the way to the end. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of baking powder so that I can apply my bottom mascara, and we can prevent any transfer. I'm just going to let that dry a bit. But while I do, I'm going to go ahead and highlight my brow bone. I'm going to be going in with Tempera right here. It's kind of just like a bone nude color. I'm just applying that to my brow bone. And whenever I apply too heavily, I just like to kind of drag it down to diffuse it some. I don't want to be looking too cray. And I'm also going to be applying that same Tempera color, Tempera, in my inner tear duct. I can't go a day without inner corner highlight, like seriously. So I'm going to go ahead and sweep this away. It's probably like way too early. Okay. So I think this pretty much completes the eye look. It's very simple, subtle, yet glowy. Going to be going into the Morphe 9B palette. I'm going to pick up my Morphe Y5 brush, and I'm going to go in with, I want a little bit of shimmer, so I'm going to pick up this color and the middle color. I'm going to just apply that a little more higher than I normally do, since it does have shimmer. It can also act as a subtle highlight. And now for highlight, I'm going to be going into the Amrezy X Anastasia Beverly Hills highlight. I'm just going to saturate myself in this. And I brought the blush up kind of high, so it's going to act as a base, because you guys know that this one is more of like a white gold highlight, so you want to have something underneath if you're my color. I don't like to just apply it by itself because it's so popping. But at first I was on the fence with this highlighter. Now it's literally one of my favorites. I kind of want to tone it down even more. So I'm going to go in with the Carly Bible palette. And I'm going to pick up this peaches shade right here and just apply that on top just to kind of give it a little more skin tone look and not too white. And I'm also going to be applying this to the bridge of my nose. I'm going to go into the Carly Bible palette and use this shade and apply that as a nose highlight. Her freaking highlighters and shadows are super pigmented as well. So if you guys are looking for something that's more affordable and you get more use out of it, because it has like 3 times 5, 15 eyeshadows and 6 highlighters, then this is definitely a good purchase. I believe it's still at Ulta. It should be $22.50, if not $14.50, but this is a steal. And the Armor highlighter is $27, I think. So I'm going to be going in with the MAC Prep and Prime and just setting my entire face. So I've been testing out the new NARS Radiant Longwear foundation, and I definitely think I'm about to go to Sephora tomorrow and make that purchase because I'm loving it. And I just like to kind of dab everything out so that it's nice and blended. Going to help all those powders melt into place. So I'm going to go and finish my hair and put on my top, and then I'll be back with the finished look. So for lips, I'm going to be going in with the BFF3 by ColourPop Lippy Pencil. Or wait, yeah, Lippy Pencil. And on top of that, I'm going to be going in with the Laritzi Cosmetics. I think this is a liquid lipstick, and it's in the color Nudes. I like to do this with my liquid lipsticks so that they don't kind of like crack and dry out as I apply them. And I just apply them like layer by layer. I actually think this lip is a little too like plain for this look. What do you guys think? I feel like I always wear nude. Maybe I should just add a gloss. I think that one was like too pink. I want to try to go in with the lip gloss by Smashbox in the color Pout. It's like a really white nude. It's like a, I don't know, like off-white nude, but it comes off kind of, see, I like that. It has like a pink undertone to it.
Let me fuck you right.
Okay guys, so this is the final result, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this soft glam makeup tutorial. All in all, I really do love the Anastasia Beverly Hills soft glam palette. If you guys do need a new palette, everyday palette, I definitely think it is worth it. The colors are very pigmented, creamy, and smooth. So easy to blend out, and you can definitely make a ton of looks using this palette. I am a fan. As soon as I saw the colors, I was just like, I have to have it. And I just always love their packaging. It's so luxurious and suede, and I'm just all about it. So like I said, I definitely recommend this palette. And if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up before you head out, and I'll just make it easy for you and leave some videos right here. So go ahead and just binge watch my videos. You don't have anything else to do. Just click one, click the next, and just make it a lifestyle. You know what I mean? So until my next video, I'll see you guys very, very soon. Thanks so much for watching.
It's my big bronze boogie got all them girls shook. My big fat ass got all them boys cook. We're from dollar bills, now we popping rubber bands.